Dragon Ball Super, episode 14. Let's talk about this. Alright, Night Riders. So, episode 14 is pretty much the conclusion of the battle of Lord Beerus and Super Saiyan God Goku. And I must say that was one hell of an ending fight. So basically, you have Goku who no longer has the Super Saiyan God aura, but he still pretty much has the power. And, he's still going toe to toe with Lord Beerus, but seeing the fact that Goku is. The way that it kind of came off as, it came off as, he still has the Super Saiyan God power. And seeing the fact that the power became his own, I don't fully think that he knows how to control the level of power that he has now. Because there were times in the fight where he kept up with Lord Beerus, but there were times in the fight where Lord Beerus pretty much embarrassed Goku. And like Goku couldn't hit him and he started getting his ass beat. But they pretty much went from space to the middle of the sky, down to the bottom of the ocean, all the way back up into space. Like this is the range of where the fight was happening. And at first when they was fighting at the bottom of the ocean, I just blamed the fact that since Goku was in the water, his movements were slower. And that's why Lord Beerus, was beating Goku while he was under the water. But Goku hit like a power up, and pretty much when he punched Lord Beerus' hand, Lord Beerus couldn't hold him back. And even Lord Beerus said, like, this is Super Saiyan God level power. And so he, like, that whole punch, like, the whole time Goku's here, Lord Beerus is holding him, but Goku's still pushing Lord Beerus back. And that's how they all go all the way back into space. But yeah, like, Goku's still hitting up, power-ups. And he's still on Super Saiyan, he still looks like he's on the Super Saiyan level. But Lord Beerus starts getting the upper hand, and he starts beating Goku a little bit, and it almost seems as though that Goku ran out of power. And because this whole Super Saiyan aura, everything went back to normal. And Lord Beerus was like, had his finger like this at his head. And, even though Goku grabbed his arm, he couldn't move his hand. And Lord Beerus is like, he's pretty much telling Goku, like, yo, this was a hell of a fight. This is the way that it started, so this is the way it's going to end. And he flicked Goku's head. And as Goku's falling back down to Earth, as you come back down to Earth from space, the atmosphere hits you, and, the heat and the fire and all that happens. And Goku starts thinking about his family, the Z Fighters, his friends, the world itself. And he's like, no, I'm not going to lose. He's basically like, no, I'm not going to lose. This isn't it. Powers back up to Super Saiyan level. Comes back up in front of Lord Beerus. And basically he's telling him like, yo, I still have power left. I didn't use all my power against you yet. So Lord Beerus is like, all right, well, then show me. Let's go. Goku fires up another Kamehameha. Lord Beerus fires up that atom-looking ball thingy that he does. Shoots it. Big explosion happened. This is like a complete sum up. I know I should have said that at the beginning of the video. I'm sorry. In this fight, Goku had to fire the Kamehameha at least. Not even in this fight, but in this episode alone, Goku had to fire his Kamehameha at least 2 to 3 times. None of them really worked. And long story short, Goku ran out of power, because that final Kamehameha that he shot at Lord Beerus. Goku ran out of power after it. I'm sorry, no, he didn't run out of power. What happened was when the energies clashed, it created like this new energy ball that kind of looked like elements of the sun. If you guys saw a Battle of Gods, you know what part I'm talking about, where they was at space and Goku was trying to stop that big yellow orangey sun looking ball. It was that ball. So, at first the ball was just staying there, but Lord Beerus did one of those it wasn't an energy attack, but you know how they go like that, and it's like a blast of wind hits you so hard that it feels like a punch. He did that, and so the ball started heading towards Goku, and as Goku's trying to deflect it back to Lord Beerus, Lord Beerus just with ease pushed it back with that air blast to Goku, and Goku's trying to hold it now, and it didn't really work, and so it pretty much engulfed Goku, and Goku kind of punched the center of it and it exploded. And you see that Goku's kind of feeling weak now. And at one last power up, he charged at Lord Beerus with all his might and pretty much punched Lord Beerus. Oh, because what happened prior to that is when he shot the first Kamehameha at the beginning of the episode, when he shot at Lord Beerus pretty much fizzled out the Kamehameha. Because I guess he mentioned it to Goku at one point. I must have missed it because I didn't know he could do this. But he was pretty much like, I could fizzle out energy attacks, right? So now fast forward to what I was talking about before. Goku punched Lord Beerus and he had the Super Saiyan, just a regular Super Saiyan aura around him. But it fizzled out. I guess Lord Beerus fizzled out his power. And Goku powered up again and an even bigger aura came out. And you saw that like Goku's hand was pretty much all like burnt up and charcoal his fist, and he ran out of power. Goku's falling all the way back down to Earth, and this time he didn't stop himself. And he's heading back down to the ship, and Vegeta is just like, everybody clear out. Vegeta jumped on the deck and literally caught Goku from falling. So yeah, Goku fell all the way from space, and your boy Vegeta caught him. So yeah, Goku was pretty much, Vegeta's looking at Goku like, we all transferred our power to you. You have my power, and you still got beat like this. Because Vegeta's all cocky and shit. So Goku's like, I'm sorry, whatever. Lord Beerus comes down, and he's like, I kept a promise that if Goku won, I wouldn't destroy Earth, but if he lost, I would destroy it. So Wiz got his little to-go bag, and he's like, all right, if you're ready, let's go. So, Goku gets up, weak and shit, and he's like, Lord Beerus, please, you don't have to do this, don't destroy the Earth. And Lord Beerus is like, no, I have to. And as soon as he powers up the ball and he fires it, turns out it missed, and it shot up into space, and you find out that your boy Lord Beerus went to sleep. My man went to sleep just like this. Arm still up and like just gone. And so then, the snot bubble came and everybody's just in shock, and Wiz is like, Goku, thank you for playing with Lord Beerus. This fight wore him out. He's tired. Because he was like, Lord Beerus isn't used to fights like this. He's like, all he does all day is sleep and eat. That's it. So, Goku's like, no problem. So Wiz tells him, like, when he wakes up, he's going to be pissed. He might not remember, that he wants to destroy the Earth, but he's still going to be pissed. So, Lord Beerus, now he put his arm down, but he still got the snot bubble. He's just like, pudding. So, Wiz is like, I don't think he's going to forget about the pudding. So, Bulma was like, next time you guys come to visit, we'll have a swimming pool full of pudding. Because, Wiz was like, when we come back to visit, make sure you have some pudding. So when they leave, Goku tells Vegeta, he's like, okay, well, Vegeta, now it's your turn. So Vegeta's like, huh? So he's like, I promised you at the end of this fight that it would be your turn to get the Super Saiyan God power. So Vegeta's like, no, I'll get it on my own. And when I do, then I'll be the strongest in the universe. And that's when I will beat you, Kakarot. So, everybody's all laughing, smiles, and all that. So then they show you that, Lord Beerus, he eventually woke up. And, he admits that Earth is a strange place. It has the ability to change a Saiyan. So Wiz is like, it changed you too. And Lord Beerus is like, maybe. And now it's pretty much the end of the episode. So, Knight Riders, I want to know what you guys have thought. of this whole fight between Goku and Lord Beerus, Dragon Ball Super style, not the Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, the TV edition of Goku versus Lord Beerus. I want to know what you guys thought about that, and which one do you prefer, the Lord Beerus fight from Battle of Gods or the Lord Beerus fight from Dragon Ball Super? Personally, I prefer the Dragon Ball Super, just because they extended it a little bit more and it was just more epic to me. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Knight Riders, y'all already know what it is, as you like, comment, and share. But if this is your first time checking on myself or the channel, hit the subscribe button and become a Knight Rider. And join us on our journey to 5,000 subscribers. So until next time, ride or die, Knight Riders. We out.